Okay, hello everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to Hiraizumi town in Iwate Prefecture. And today we're going to the World Heritage Site called Chusonji, which is a very, very important place in Japanese culture and history. So right now we are on the path leading into the main temple. It's a very nice wooded area with these really tall trees. These are cedar trees. Very nice. And we just came up to this area and it has a nice view over the surrounding countryside here. It's kind of like an observation deck. But Iwate Prefecture is quite rural, and that's what you can see here. You can see the train tracks there, and also the highway in the distance. And right now it's early September and it looks like they're harvesting the rice. Here in Iwate Prefecture, you can see some of the rice fields there in the distance, some of the mountains. I believe that's the Kitakami River there in the distance. And there are a lot of buildings along the way up to the main hall. This is the first one that we came up to. I don't think it's super important, so I'm not going to show so much of that. But anyway, we are on the main path leading into Chusonji. So this is what the path looks like. So anyway, please join me for a visit to this very important place called Chusonji. Okay, see you soon. Bye. Okay, everybody. So now we are here at the main hall. This is the main building that is used today for the main ceremonies and different, celebrations or praying and rituals and things like that. So as you can see, a lot of people are coming here, going up to the altar. There's incense. Here you can see kind of in Japanese called akamatsu. It's a type of pine tree. Looks very beautiful here. And over here's the bell, and I assume probably at New Year's, when the clock strikes midnight, they will ring this bell to purify all of the sins of the previous year to start the new year in purity. So anyway, in Japanese, this is called the Hondo, or in English, the main hall of the temple. However, it is not the most famous thing to see, so we're going to keep going, and then I'll show that to you later. Okay, see ya. Okay, everybody, so we have continued up the trail to the main part of the temple grounds, and we just bought our tickets right here, actually. So it was 800 yen, which is about $8, I guess. But this is the treasure hall, so when you buy your ticket, then you have access to everything here, including the treasure hall and the main part of the temple I'm going to show you pretty soon. But no filming, no videos inside, so I'm just going to show you the outside. And yeah, it was very, very impressive. If you come here, get your ticket and definitely don't miss it. Also, it's really hot today, and they did have air conditioning, so it's really nice. But yeah, they had some statues of Buddha, some very impressive statues, some scriptures, some scrolls, and yeah, a replica of the main part of the temple grounds that we're about to see here in just a minute. So anyway, this is the treasure hall at Chusonji. Okay, see you. All right, everybody, so now we are at the main attraction here at Chusonji, and this building here is called Konjikido. And yeah, so maybe if you've been to Kyoto or you've studied a little bit about Kyoto, you know that probably one of the most famous temples to visit there is called Kinkakuji, or in English sometimes we say the Golden Pavilion. And actually this is also a Golden Pavilion. So obviously you don't see any gold here because this building is actually built on top of the Konjikido to kind of preserve it. To preserve its beauty and things like that. So inside, no pictures or videos are allowed, so that's why I'm showing you this here, because this is probably the classic image of Hiraizumi in general. This is the best of the best right here. So anyway, while we're here, just want to give you a little bit of some background of Hiraizumi. And so this temple here, of course, is called Chusonji, and it was established back in the year 850. So this was a temple for the Tendai sect of Buddhism. And the Fujiwara clan, which is a really important clan in Japanese history, they moved their base to be here in Hiraizumi, here at Chusonji. And so this was kind of a cultural center of northern Japan. And a long time ago, back in those days, they had many, many buildings, but unfortunately, most of those have not survived. So anyway, let's see, what else do I need to tell you? Yeah, so this is one of the original buildings here that did survive, this Konjikido, and this goes back to the end of the 12th century. So yeah, it dates back to 1124, sorry. Yeah, dates back to 1124, and yeah, so no photography is allowed inside. So anyway, I am going to kind of walk around here, show you a few things, and then of course I have to stop filming when I get up to the main entrance. But again, yeah, this is a World Heritage Site recognized by the United Nations, by UNESCO. It's a very, very nice, peaceful area here. So it is early September, so the leaves are very, very green right now, but you can imagine in the fall, must be very beautiful with the autumn leaves here. So yeah, there's a sign, no photos, no videos. So anyway, there it is, that's Konjikido, and a little bit of history of Chusonji. So I'm gonna go and check it out, and then I'll let you know my impressions after that. See ya. Alright everybody, so I just left the Konjikido here, the Golden Pavilion, and yes, it is very impressive. So yeah, definitely worth the money to come in to pay. And it was air conditioned, so if it's a hot day, you can kind of stay in there as long as you want. And then they had some explanations in both English and Japanese on the speakers. So just next to it right here, this is called the Kyozo Hall, and this is where they store the scriptures, the Buddhist scriptures are stored here, and this is also one of the original buildings that has survived throughout the years. Obviously it's not as impressive as the Konjikido, but it is actually older. It's 16 years older than the most impressive building over there, the Konjikido. So anyway, this is the Kyozo Hall. It is also an important cultural property, part of this UNESCO World Heritage Site. I think we're going to walk around just a little bit more. I think there's supposed to be a very beautiful theater to check out. So once we find that, I'll bring that to you. Okay, see ya. Okay, everybody. Alright, so this is going to be the last part that I show of Chusonji. It's been a very impressive temple, and this is the last thing. And this is a No Theater, N-O-H, No Theater. This is a stage here that they have for performances. No is a type of performance. They wear masks and there's music and kind of dances or movements, and they reenact different legends and stories from history and things like that. So this is one of the most famous No theaters in all of Japan. There are others in Kyoto or Osaka, Tokyo, and other places, Sado Island, for example. But this is one of the most famous ones. And so you can see it's a really nice theater here. And Hiraizumi was not only a religious center, but also a cultural center for northern Japan. So the performing arts were also a very important part of that. And of course here on this stage, No has gone on to become an intangible cultural heritage recognized by UNESCO. So it is a World Heritage, the culture of No Theater. So very nice building here. Looks like it's very well preserved. And it's quite big. It's bigger than I expected. Then also some other shrines here. This is actually Shinto here. So very nice area here. It's off to the side. And I think a lot of people just kind of skip by it. So you got to kind of keep your eyes open. It's off to the left after you come out of the Konjikido. So if you come here, definitely check out this No Theater performance stage. Okay, so that's it from Chusonji. I'll see you later. Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to Motsuji. And this is another famous and important temple here in Hiraizumi. Chusonji, I would say, is probably the #1 most famous, and we walked around there. And this would be probably the #2. It's hard to rank, but if you really want to kind of talk about importance or scale, you would probably say this is the #2. Again, this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and so it had a very big importance on the Fujiwara clan, and of course the Tendai sect of Buddhism. So what you're looking at now is this is called the Hondo in Japanese, or the main hall. And so again, this is where the most of the special ceremonies and the rituals and prayers, meditation, things like that would happen here. So I'm going to walk up a little bit, and we cannot enter inside the temple, but I can give you a pretty good view. Yeah, so you can see the statue of Buddha there in the distance, and right there is the incense area. And the most famous thing about Motsuji here at this temple is the garden, and this is called a Pure Land garden, and it is supposed to replicate the idea of a Buddhist paradise. So there's a lot of symbolism here in this garden, and of course you can see there's a really big lake here, and there's a path. You can walk along the path. You can see there, and it's about 500 meters, which is just over a quarter of a mile. So we're going to walk around this lake, and I think there used to be a lot of buildings here on this in the gardens, and of course they didn't survive, so they've got signs that you can read about, learn about what it used to look like in the past, and then of course kind of realize just how important this place is in Japanese history. Not only Japanese history, but world history as well. So anyway, this is the main garden here. It's called a Pure Land garden. There are only a few of these left in Japan, so they've kind of died out in general, but this is probably one of the most famous ones in all of Japan. So we're going to walk around, and I'll show you some different views of this beautiful garden here at Motsuji in Hiraizumi. See you soon. Bye. All right, so I'm going to take you on a little walk here around the pond, and this is a really nice view here. Of course, we have excellent weather today. You can see the blue skies, white clouds, and the reflection coming off of the water. And yeah, this is what the path looks like over here. We got some water lilies there in the distance. And over here, these are irises. They were donated by Meiji Jingu. So here they have different types of plants and trees and rocks, and all of this is very symbolic, again, of a Buddhist paradise. So now we're going to come up on a building. It's called Kaisando. Just right over here. This is Kaisando, and it is dedicated to the founder of this temple. His name is Jikaku Daishi Ennin. He lived from 794 to 864, and he wrote about his travels to China during the Tang Dynasty, and it is considered one of the top 3 travel logs in history. So this is kind of a building dedicated to him. So there it is, Kaisando. Okay, we're going to keep walking around, and I'll see you soon. Bye. All right, everybody, I want to give you a different view of the lake here, or the pond, I guess. You can see there's a little island here with some stones. And again, all of this is very symbolic of a Buddhist paradise. And then there's some boats with a dragon on the front, and I'm not really sure, but I think that might be the symbol of Hiraizumi. So I don't really know a lot of information about that or the design or anything like that. So while you have this beautiful view here, I'm going to give you a little history of Hiraizumi. I kept talking about how it used to be a very powerful and important cultural place in Japan, but I didn't really get into why it's in ruins today. So just a very quick history lesson here. The Fujiwara, they were a clan in Japan, and they were the most powerful clan during the Heian period, which would be around 800 to about the year 1200, I guess. For about 400 years, the Fujiwara clan were the most powerful, and they chose this area here in Hiraizumi to be the northern branch of the family. So it really grew. Hiraizumi grew to be like a cultural, kind of a sophisticated place with a lot of political and cultural power, and it even rivaled Kyoto. So of course, everybody knows Kyoto. It's kind of the cultural, the historical capital of Japan, but this was a rival to Kyoto. But in the year 1189, Minamoto Yoritomo, he came here, and he eventually became Japan's first shogun. But he was looking for his brother, who was also his rival. His name was Yoshitsune, and of course he was here. He was getting refuge from the Fujiwara clan, and his brother was trying to find him. And of course he couldn't find him. He eventually just razed the whole city, destroyed everything. And after that, the city never really got back to its former glory. And so that's why a lot of these places that I'm showing you today are just ruins, or we can imagine what it used to be back in those days. So anyway, kind of we could say for Hiraizumi, maybe it's one of the most historically and culturally important places in the Tohoku area. So this is Hiraizumi. That's a little bit of the history here. And so anyway, so here we are, and coming up on a different building here. Let's see. I thought it was the Cultural Assets Repository, but it's not. But this is a building where every January 20th they have a ritual called Samadhi, and it's constant walking, and it's a performance for longevity, and it actually became an intangible folk cultural property. And so this building here, it's been destroyed and rebuilt many times, but this one dates back to 1732, so still very old building. And January 20th, you come here, you'll see people performing that very ancient tradition of meditating and walking around. So anyway, we're going to continue around the pond, and I'll see you later. All right, so this is going to be the end of the video here at Motsuji in Hiraizumi. The last place we visited was this museum. It's kind of like a treasure house. It's got a lot of statues and scriptures and things like that that are connected to the temple here at Motsuji. So please check it out if you come. It's got air conditioning inside, which is nice to get away from the heat. They've got some restaurants over here, and place to sit in the shade, sit down, get a drink, relax a little bit, and just get some rest. So anyway, this is going to be the end of our video. All right, so it's going to be really hard to get the whole family here in the video. So anyway, so this is the end of the visit to Hiraizumi in Iwate Prefecture. We went to Chusonji and Motsuji temples. Do you have anything to say?
平泉本当にいいところです。皆さんも来てみてください。
Yeah, it was a really, really good place. It's a World Heritage, UNESCO World Heritage Site, both here at Motsuji and Chusonji. Yes. And here there was nobody. We had it so peaceful. We had it to ourselves. So it's a very, very highly recommended place to visit. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please click like, leave a comment down below, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Facebook. Not Facebook, but Instagram and Twitter and all those things. So anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.